We just have the best community, man. I mean, these keynote speakers just hop on truly out of the good of their heart. They just want to like share the mission with FDN with people, and to see what she was doing, a musician turned health person turned business person, absolutely amazing. So I hope that you guys get to catch that if you weren't on for that one. But anyway, if you have no idea what I'm talking about and you just got into this Q&A, we are really glad to see you. We are on for our final session before the end of Black Friday here. My name's Evan. I go by Detective Ev here. I normally have this amazing fancy setup, but I am visiting my lovely parents in Pennsylvania, so we got the closet set up today. I hope that's all right. I have with us Elizabeth Gaines, our FDN Education Director, Brandy Buskow, our COO, and I always call her our CEO for Chief Everything Officer, because there is no one that can replace more people if they're out sick than Brandy. I mean, she hosts the stuff, she can teach stuff, she does everything that you can imagine. And then founder of FDN, certainly last but not least, Reed Davis is here with us. And so the reason that we are doing this session is so that you guys can get any last second questions answered that you possibly have about FDN. We always say this, you know, if it's not the perfect time for the course for whatever reason, that's okay, but we never want you to feel like you didn't get enough information or didn't get your questions answered. So that's what we are here to do. Some people said Leah was amazing. All-star team today. Yes, we try to do what we can, Melissa, so thank you for that. Let's just do a quick welcome for everyone while we let some... Oh, you can't post in the attendee chat. No problem. I will change that for you. Now we can all chat with everyone. That's all fixed up. But I'll say hello to our panel real quick, also to give me a second to breathe from the keynote. So if you guys have questions, just start throwing them in and we'll get to them. Elizabeth, how are you doing? And I'd like to know, for people that don't know you, what do you get to do as Education Director here at FDN?
Oh, well, I'm doing great, Ev. Thank you. And as Education Director, I get to work side by side with our illustrious founder, Reed Davis, to make sure that our training is relevant, current, cutting edge, and covers everything that you want it to cover and doesn't cover too much and doesn't cover too little. So we are constantly reevaluating what we are teaching, how we are teaching it. We are adding. We take very seriously what we get as critique or comments from trainees that are leaving. Reed and the team do postgraduate interviews with everyone, and we take that feedback very seriously and incorporate that continually into the course moving forward and just make it better and better and better and better.
Awesome. Brandy, I'll check in with you. I feel like it is a very foolish question for me to ask, what does a day in the life of Brandy look like here at FDN? We could do a session on that. But if we want to give the high-level overview, I'd love to hear that.
Yeah, I've actually been spending a lot of time with the course enrollment team, getting to kind of listen to the conversations, hearing what people are asking. So whenever we get that feedback from people we're talking to, we also bring it to the team so that we can bring you a lot of these live presentations. So a lot of you love seeing the sessions like Leah's, and so that's why we keep bringing them to you, and as much education. I think, Evan, the live that you and I did last week, when we were talking about very transparently, you know, how we compare to other programs, was very well received. I hope all of you here were able to watch that. I think we were pretty fair and shared, you know, why FDN is the right choice for everybody. So I'm looking forward to helping people with questions today.
Awesome. And I'm going to go to Reed real quick, but guys, let me know in the chat, please just put a yes. Do you prefer this gallery view? I forgot that you guys liked that a little bit better last time. So do you prefer to see all four of us hanging? Okay, Melissa was like, yes, Ev, I like it. She knew what I was talking about. Megan likes it. Oh, that's all I need to hear. No, I'm kidding. All right, seems like everyone seems to prefer that, so we will do that. Reed, you know, I never even really get to ask you this, but of course you founded FDN all these years ago as a course. It started in 2008, which is insane. And here we are 17 years later, online, thousands of graduates, all that stuff. So what does a day in the life of Reed Davis look like now in terms of kind of planning for the future of FDN?
Well, I'm constantly looking forward, Evan. You know, I don't have a rearview mirror, so I don't sweat very much. I just keep striving to expand our mission, keep people focused on the mission. And with that, I have a lot of meetings, and I also do a lot of the PR. So I'm doing a lot of interviews, being interviewed here and interviewed there, all kinds of podcasters. They want to hear about FDN. what I love is just like you just had Leah on. Of course, we're very proud of Leah. She's one of the most successful FTNs, and I think a great model for other people to follow, along with many others. But she's at the top of her game right now. I love being on their podcast, so I can help them. They usually have some kind of audience built up, and they're building their audiences, and I just want to go on and support them. So I do that, but I also do other interviews and webinars for different groups and things, always introducing FDN as for what it is. And, we just haven't seen anything like it. We haven't seen anything better. There's lots of other people teaching courses, which some are pretty good actually. But again, we don't naysay or look back very much. I'm always looking forward. 2026 is going to be an amazing year for FDN practitioners, the existing ones and all the new ones, because the marketplace is growing so fast. I don't like the word marketplace. What I'm saying is there's so many sick people. There's so many sick people who aren't getting their needs met elsewhere. And at the end, what we do, it seems like we're the ones that fill that needs gap. So when the client or person or patient, whatever it is, it has been struggling and can't figure it out, just like you're the health detective, Ev, we have thousands of health detectives out there figuring out what's really wrong. And so I just keep nurturing that.
Awesome. All right. We have the first questions already coming through. Hopefully that let you get a little idea of who you guys are speaking to today. It's rare that we all get in one place, but it's absolutely amazing when we do. So first question actually came from us on the stream from YouTube. So I put it in the hosts and panelists chat for you guys so you can read it as well. But someone asked if you feel like addressing some of the symptoms you currently have would improve your FDN learning experience. Is that supported in any way? I'd love to order labs now and pay for them. So, okay, this is someone who just signed up for the FDN course. And I think what they're asking is like, could I do that a little bit sooner? But I mean, for me, I feel like the second that you get into the course, you're going to learn stuff that can help. So not sure who wants to take this. I guess all of us could answer this, but Elizabeth, you got anything? You're the first person that comes to mind.
Sure. I just want to make sure that everyone is clear that every lab you learn is included in your tuition and you will do it as part of the course. So yes, you will be addressing your symptoms. You will be looking at your healing opportunities. You will become your own first client and you will see some resolution in your health. And that makes you then a product of the product, which gives you all the confidence in the world to then go out and help others with the knowledge. So I'm not sure if what this person is asking is, hey, can I actually work on my own health in the course, or if they're asking if they can do it earlier. But the answer is absolutely. That's what the course is founded on. Reed had, I think, a genius way of teaching this, where he just throws you in the deep end. He says, don't think about it too much. Like, don't get too in the weeds about it. Just do it. Just do it. And so we do that by giving you the labs to run on yourself, then giving you everything we know about DRESS, and you then work on your own protocols and you work on it with a mentor, and then you go into the practicals where you're applying it to case studies. So it's a really sort of trial by fire type of education that doesn't allow you to get stuck. It keeps you moving forward in that way.
Apologies to... Oh, sorry.
I actually just wanted to address part of it because I think what they're saying is in the chat, they said they have really huge brain fog. So here's what I encourage you to do. If you've been watching, you hear us say, oh, it takes about 8 to 9 months to get through the course. If you want to get the test results and you want to start working on yourself, I encourage you to go a little faster. You have the ability to go through the course modules a little bit faster, and you don't have to wait until month 6 or 7 to get your test results. If you can get through the modules and dedicate time to it every single week, you'll get to your test results faster, and you'll get to meet with your mentors to go over your personal test results. So if that's a goal for you, I'm encouraging you to set aside time so you can get there a little bit sooner and start working on your own health.
I really appreciate that because I just seen the follow up as well, Brandy. So this person was even like suggesting, could I get more labs right now and then use my included ones as follow up? And I've seen Holly on so many things. So Holly, I feel like I hope this is okay. I feel like I can talk to you a little bit more directly. Understand that the first part of your practicals is going to be you going over your lab test results. So it's not like you're waiting the full, even if it took you 8 months, you're not waiting the full 8 months to get there. I love what Brandy just said. I think that is, even though you have brain fog, I get that. That can also be something that can make it feel like it's holding you back. I feel like when we are passionate about something, I was so sick when I was going through this FDN course, and yet that passion just like drove the retention for me. And there are studies behind this, by the way. When we're genuinely excited to learn something, there's neurotransmitters like dopamine that increase in the brain, which actually help our retention. So it's pretty cool. And Holly, I don't know if the other symptoms have affected you physically, but there's some interesting research showing that if you just sprinted 1 or 2 times for 20 seconds real quick before learning, that you also have a higher retention rate. So good for your health, and then helps with the brain fog thing too. But my point is, I would use this almost as the motivation to what Brandy just said, to get through it a little bit faster so you can get to those lab results. Now, that's not to say we're doing it hastily. That's different than efficiently. But yeah, I would use that as motivation. That is going to be the most practical answer. I wish I had one for you today that says, yes, we can just do the labs right now. But I think the most benefit to you is going to come from going through the course, getting those initial labs done, and then running your own follow-up afterwards if you'd like. All right. We have a bunch of people that got in a little bit late. No worries. I'm assuming, actually, I recognize a lot of these names. You guys were probably finishing up the live stream for Leah Brueggemann, so we're super glad to have you here with us. This is our final Q&A session of Black Friday. After this, it is over, my friends. The sale ends at 11:59 p.m. Pacific, our largest sale ever in course history. It was kind of cool because we had all the people who were already trainees or grads on from many, many years, and we had them throw in the chat, like, can you guys verify this is the largest sale? And they all confirmed that it was. So you might as well take advantage of it while you can. If you have questions, that's what this entire session is about. It is very rare that we all get in one place. You got myself, whatever that's worth to you. You got Elizabeth Gades, our education director, Brandy Buscow, our COO, and Reed Davis, founder of FDN. We can answer literally anything that you can throw at us, I'd say. So our next one here is from Andorini, who not only just signed up for the FDN course the other day, but was lucky enough to be one of our winners on our prize wheel. So congrats, you're making out like a bandit. Does any one of you ever help clients whom are post-cancer treatment to regain optimal wellness?
I'll jump in and just say that FDN doesn't treat anything specifically. It treats everything non-specifically. So through lifestyle medicine, it's called, people just get better when they're on our protocols. Their health improves no matter what their condition is. And sometimes it improves very rapidly, and to the extent that lots of symptoms and even diagnosed conditions go away. They just disappear. The person is healthy, and that condition can go away permanently. However, when it comes to cancer, there needs to be some medical oversight. Let's not leave that out. That's a situation where things can go south pretty quickly, and we're not in control of that. So we acknowledge how important it is to have another set of eyes on cancer. And having said that, there's nothing wrong if you want to take on people who have cancer or post-cancer treatment, these kind of things, to keep them healthy or healthier. And what I like to say is we work around the edges. So if someone has a diagnosed medical condition, we work around the edges of it, doing the testing we do and the protocols we do so that they get healthier, healthier on a cellular, tissue, organ level. And a lot of these things just disappear. But because cancer it's kind of cantankerous, it's a mean thing. And so we like to have work with a physician in those cases. We'll work directly with our client. We're going to have them eating right and going to bed on time and reducing stress and moving their body and taking supplements and all kinds of things that we do. in our natural health building system. So we don't treat disease, we build health. And you'd be amazed at what that will do for a person.
Absolutely. Got some amazing FDNs out there that are doing that, right? Heather Cohen, amazing FDN that is very passionate about working with people that are dealing with those things. So yes, it's definitely possible, Andorini. Just gotta, like Reed said, we gotta do it in the proper scope, make sure we're doing it correctly. All right, let me go back to our other chats here.
I'll just say in the meantime, I
Perfect.
have worked with a couple of post people who are surviving cancer, who are post cancer. And always I am in constant communication with their doctor. And I tend to think that my job as the FDN is, just as Reed said, to build health, to free the doctor up to make sure that the cancer doesn't come back. Like that's the doctor's job, is to make sure that there's no recurrence of cancer. And my job is to take care of insomnia and fatigue and pain and those types of things. So that's how I feel like we work in concert with each other.
Reed, I did have to mute you just for a second, but I unmuted you. Well, I requested it. There you go. Perfect. All right, from the Q&A, I'm just posting this in the regular chat so everyone can see this if you don't mind, but the Q&A is great. I appreciate you using that, actually. All right, so this person, graduated IIN in 2012, practicing a side hustle health coaching biz. Now they want to focus on their biz and believe FDN is a great addition. Rachel Feldman highly recommended. Thanks, Rachel, to the biz. Truly on the fence and ready to jump in. So the question is, I've been a Neolife director for over 30 years, whole food supplements. Is this a conflict with the FDN philosophy and training using other supplement lines?
No. So, we don't have our own brand and we're not for or against anything if it's working for you. If it's not working for you, then yeah, we need to help you find something different that would work actually on the underlying causes and conditions. So, Neolife is a good brand. It's whole food, nutrition, supplementation. They've been around forever. And again, if it's working for a person, great. We're not going to force anyone to use another brand. Oh, you got to switch or anything like that. If it's truly working, then why would you change it? The issue for us would be, well, if it's working so great, what do you need us for? And that's what we find all the time with clients is, they're having trouble. They have a health condition that they want to get rid of, something about the way they look or feel that's not right. And so, yeah, they're going to have to run some labs, find out what's really wrong and make some changes. And so that question doesn't really apply. There's really good brands of stuff out there. We do our best. Evan asked me earlier, what do you do all day? One of the things that we do as a team is vet out new products. You would not believe the number of bottles of stuff that gets shipped to me and to the staff to try this, try that. We go to conferences together, and we always have a good time with all the FDNs there. As Ev was saying, he's kind of in charge of that. But we get approached. Hey, I've heard about FDN. You guys are amazing. You guys are some of the most knowledgeable practitioners out there of all kinds. We'll give everything an honest look. We don't do multi-level marketing products, but we give everything a pretty honest look. We want to know, could this help somebody? And that's my thoughts on that. So I haven't personally worked with Neolife, but I've heard really good things, and it's been around forever. I know that.
And this is what I will say from the course standpoint, is that we are teaching you how to use supplementation and why to use supplementation. We will be teaching specific supplements in the course, but that is never an attempt to say this is the only thing you should or can use. We just need to have some kind of boundary around what we teach and how we test on the practicals in order to be comparing apples to apples. So you will learn a certain set of supplements in the course, but we are clear throughout the training that that is simply a starter set to help you learn how and why to use supplements rather than what to use.
And Peggy, good to see you again. I think you were just on yesterday with me, so glad that you're here. For whatever it's worth to you, I'm only bringing this up because you said yourself, right? You're on the fence and ready to jump in. I graduated from IIN prior to going through FDN. In fact, I'm very thankful for them because I don't know that I would have figured out. I don't know that I would have found FDN in the way that I did had I not gone through IIN first and been introduced to the industry. So we're always super thankful for that. But what I wanted to throw in here, and I'll say this as diplomatically as possible, if you were able to create a legitimate side hustle health coaching business with just IIN, I think you will do very well with FDN. I will say it that way because there's a lot of different businesses. And if we equated businesses to vehicles, like vehicles can get you places, right? I can drive some real old school thing that's beat up and, you know, when I start going 60 miles per hour, it starts shaking down the road. Or I can drive a nice, fresh new car and, you know, I can hit 120 if I wanted to without even thinking about it. So they both drive. They both get you to a place. One's a lot harder to drive than the other. And so if some of these courses were vehicles, it's not a perfect analogy because it almost sounds like IIN's bad. I don't think that at all. I think it taught me a lot about the coaching side. It was great for introducing me to nutrition. I do think from a purely business standpoint, it is harder to drive that. I think what FDN offers makes it much easier to talk about it to the average person. You provide them with a lot more value, and so they're more likely to purchase from you and work with you and refer their friends and family. So when anyone comes in, I've said this a million times because this circumstance comes up a lot. If someone's able to go through IIN, that vehicle, and they're still able to make this work on the business side, it would almost feel probably notably easier for you once you go through FDN just in terms of the business. So let us know, Peggy, though. I mean, you asked the question, so I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but please, if you're on that fence and you're still trying to figure out which way am I going to go here, right, on the fence, just keep asking us questions and let us know so that we can get it answered for you one way or the other. I also want to hear from the rest of our audience here. I've seen some names hiding around different lives. Megan, I'm talking to you. I've seen you hanging around and definitely some other people here. So Otto's on. Otto, you've been on these lives for like 2 years, my friend. What's going on? When are you getting an FDN? I'm about to sign you up myself at this point, so please let me know in the chat. Another question that we got here is, sorry, I'm going to have to glance down for this one. All right, someone had talked about, I always love this. Someone had talked about how we view AI and like, what will that mean for FDN? The question directly is, what will AI mean for FDN in your opinion? I look at it as actually something that complements our business, but you know, they could hear from me anytime. So I'd love to hear from our wonderful panel here. How do you see AI affecting FDN? Is it a positive, negative, neutral? What do you guys think?
I think it's positive. It's an amazing tool, and like all tools, if you use it correctly, it could help you tremendously. It's when it's not used properly. Like if I had a health condition, I might look it up and see what was said. And I would test it against 2 or 3 different AI models. I would use ChatGPT. My favorite is Perplexity. I'm becoming a huge fan of Gab AI, which is philosophically more in line with my very sort of unbiased and uncensored approach to things. So I think it's amazing. Yesterday, I got a ride somewhere to church, actually. My wife left early. So I went to church yesterday in an Uber. And this guy said he was a blogger. The driver said he's a blogger. And I asked him about AI, and he didn't have too much to say. I said, use it. If you're a good editor, AI is amazing. Anyway, I love AI. I think it's great. I wouldn't take everything it says word for word, but I think it's wonderful. I've been doing a lot of research, financial things, and all kinds of things on it.
I'll say this about why I think AI will always be a complement to our business and never supersede us. That we will always need a human element. A friend of mine the other day decided he was going to go on a 5-day fast, and He asked AI if he should also do a sauna and a cold plunge while he was on a 5-day fast. And AI was like, absolutely, that's a great idea. That's going to boost autophagy. So he comes to me and he's like, what do you think? And I was like, well, I think that why don't we just concentrate on one enormous hormetic stressor at a time so that you don't max out your vital reserve and you will continue to be a healthy person. And he was like, well, AI didn't tell me that. And I said, well, that's sort of the difference between a human and AI right there.
That's such a good point, Elizabeth. And Elizabeth knows as well as anyone, I'm a nut. I've done the 72-hour water fasts. I actually hosted something for years called the Delaware River Cold Plunge, where we did it during December, and you'd never catch me dead doing those things together, especially 5 days. That's enough, right? You gotta focus on yourself.
That's
and
a
let your
big
body
enough
do its thing.
hormetic stressor right there. Yes.
Yeah, great point. All right. So Peggy had a follow-up, and then we'll get to some of the other questions here. And guys, I'm going to post a lot of this just in the chat since they're coming from different places. I want everyone to be able to see it. So I think it's just a comment, but I'd like to read it regardless. Peggy had said, thank you. My goal is to elevate myself as a professional. I 100% believe in Neolife for supplements, which is great, and I have countless testimonials. I just believe elevating my biz with the labs and additional training is what I need professionally. Thanks for the feedback. I'm also looking for a deeper knowledge base in IIN, which again, yes, this would be a very logical next step. We'll give you a lot more than that. I have been a health nut all my life with a smiley face. Thanks for all these sessions. You're very welcome. Thanks for being a great participant in all of them. I do notice these things. The team knows this. I always remember the names that are commenting constantly, and just being an awesome person in our chat. That does not go unnoticed. So thank you, Peggy. And all right, we'll get to some other questions.
Hey, Ev, let me add to, because I'm seeing a couple things there. One lady asked, "Will it be over my head?" And Karen caught her own mistake. She said, Nick Adams. I know Mike Adams, and I do love the Health Ranger. I didn't know he had his own AI, so I will try that. Thank you. The Brighton.ai. But someone else wanted to know about Neolife and then also taking the FDN course. It was mentioned twice in there. So the difference, people who are, Neolife is a multi-level marketing or direct marketing company. And so it depends upon people trying it to see if it works. Try it, might work, and enough people try it and like it, and that's a good thing. And so if people try it and like it, and they keep buying it from you, you do well as a distributor or rep for Neolife, and fair is fair. And our question would always be, what about the people who didn't like it or it didn't work for? So that's the problems that we solve day in and day out. I've tried everything. They tried this, they tried that, they tried Neolife, they've tried you name it, and nothing seems to be working. And that's why we always run the labs first. And so I'll just say that is the difference. And so you may, at the end of the day, still want them to try Neolife, but you may learn a few things in the course that dissuades you from that a bit. And here's why that's okay. This is the most important thing. It's not what's best for you or your business. That's never the first concern, which is the concern of a lot of multi-level marketing people. They want you to try this, try this, try this. And that's, again, it's not a horrible thing because you're going to get lucky sometimes and it'll work. But with FDN, it's what's the best thing for this person, regardless of my attachment, commission, anything I get out of selling a certain product or service. If you're doing and recommending for that reason, then you're recommending for the wrong reasons. You have to recommend what you know is best for a person. It's really called ethics. And so that's why we don't do MLMs, because ethically, you're challenged ethically when it comes to, should I have them try the MLM that I'm a part of, or should I give, based on your training, some other product or something that that has a more likely chance of succeeding, or should be your first choice, based because the first choice should always be based on what's good for the client. So it's not assassinating anyone's character. It's just saying there is a difference, and I've seen it played out enough times to know that that's true.
Awesome. Thank you, Reed. It makes me think of, I can't not bring this up. I'm sorry. I love this quote. I actually did double check it just to make sure I got it right, but it's in Galatians, and it says, "And let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not." And what that means is that, if we focus on doing well, doing good first, that's the priority, you always get a harvest every single time. So that's a cool principle. All right. Well, first of all, welcome to Carly. So I don't know the last name here, but one of our staff members told us Carly signed up. It'd be great if we could get a last name, but welcome to Carly.
Welcome,
Glad to have you.
Carly.
Hi, Carly.
I'm sure you're great. So we'll try to get a last name there. But I had posted one more. Here we go. So this person was scared of something. All right. They don't have a background in health. Would the content be overwhelming for me? Well, what do you think about this, education director?
I think I didn't have a background in health when I came to FDN. And I think that is the story of a lot of people. And, Reed, yourself, you didn't have a health education. You kind of learned it through clinical observation, and you made this course for people like you. So I would say that you're very well positioned to do well in this course.
I was in law and business, and I always say, Evan, you've heard me say this how many times? I had a lot to learn, but nothing to unlearn. And so it's kind of interesting how that works. If you're so sure of something, that could be a problem, because it just might not be so, what you're so sure of. So come with an open mind. As long as you don't have to know much, come with an open mind. You do have to know how to use a computer. You have to know how to open files and send files and use software and things. Nothing's super complicated. But if you have Brandy, help me out here. What am I trying to say about the tech skills? You got to know something.
Yeah, I mean, there's the whole willingness, like you've always said, to help people, but you need to have, a computer and a stable internet connection and, the basics of Microsoft Word and Excel or Google. You're going to need that to run a business anyways. You don't need to be a computer wizard. You don't need to know every single platform. We try to make it as easy as possible. If you were on with Leah just said when she started, she was using a Google Doc and Google Sheets. She was not using software, and she was successful. So she didn't even do her own slides. She had somebody do the slides for her. She said, you do not need to be an expert in everything. Just take the FDN course and go out and help people, and you will learn along the way and figure it out.
Awesome.
Yeah. And Ev, what's my saying about tech?
Oh God, I should know all your. I have to keep a list of your sayings, but
High tech for me was.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Pager and a fax machine. There we go. You just had to set me
Pager
up
and a
like
fax
that.
machine. That's right. Pager
And a fax machine. That's high tech enough. So we'll get you through the big words. And I have heard even in today's chat more than one concern about something being over your head. We'll help you with the big words. I try not to use them. Sometimes you have to, but I'm going to explain them so well you'll get right past it. It is a college level course. There's no question about that. And at the same time, you're ready for it. If you're sitting here on the fence, I would say don't let that distract you. Don't let that bother you. There's so much support and help, and I teach in layers. Everyone calls it layers. It's really a progression, and I enjoy it. So I would try to make it fun, and we'll get you through all the tough stuff.
Awesome. All right, next question that came up here, and again, all of us can answer a lot of these. Brandy, I'd like to hear from you and check in with you again. So from the sessions this month, someone said they see different completion time frames. Is there a guidance on how long it will take, me, this person?
Yeah, and I've seen this question come through quite a bit in our from our texts and to the course enrollment team. So this is a self-paced course, meaning the date that you enroll, you get access to the material right away, and we give you 12 months to complete it. So when you jump in, as you complete a lesson, you get access to the next one. You're not waiting for us to release it. You can go as fast as slow as you need to. But the average time, so this is, taking all the students that are currently going through, we've calculated the average time and it's around 10 months at this point, but people have gone through it as fast as 4 months. So you are in control of how fast you want to go. Now, those people getting through in 9 to 10 months, they're maybe studying 5 to 8 hours per week. If you can dedicate 10 to 15 hours a week, you can get through in half that time. So it's not studying 40 hours a week and it's taking you 6 months. Absolutely not. I share when I went through the course, I had 3 kids under 3, so I had a set of twins and a baby. And I did it when they were napping and in the evenings. And I was able to get through in 12 months. Now, the course is a little bit more robust than it was when I went through in 2014, but I still have confidence that I would have been able to get through it because I actually took a 4 month break and I still got through in 12 months. So you can definitely do this if you're working full time. If you want to set aside time on the weekends, you can get through it. The only thing you cannot fast track is the practicals. The reason for that is we want to make sure that you're successful. We have high success rates for that reason because we're preparing you. We want you to pass and get through and feel really confident. So that takes 2 months. But everything else that you do, you're in full control. So the more you put into it, the faster you can get through it.
Awesome. Another one that had
Yeah,
come up. Oh, sorry.
you'll want to keep your butt in a chair for a lot of the course. You're going to watch and listen to the videos, which are Elizabeth and I going through slides. And but we stop. We have breaks. It's all in kind of bite-sized pieces. We learned to do that over the years. There's also a weekly support call, and then a biweekly. You do hot topics every week or every other week.
Every week.
So there's 2 calls a week for you to attend. There's a Facebook group for trainees that you can write in anytime, and it's attended by our course supervisor Renee and other the mentors. So there's a lot of support. It's self-paced, but you're not on your own. You're not alone doing it. And like Evan said, we have people doing it in 4 months. So Matt, you know what I noticed during COVID when people were at home, the completion time went up overall by a lot. It's like people had they were working from home or not working as much, and so they poured themselves into it. So my expression for you is don't quit your day job, keep your day job, but look forward to advancing yourself with education that you can turn around, not only work on your own health, but start helping others and getting paid for it. The business side, we're also going to teach you that too.
So, this next question, Ev will take this first. Anyone else can take it, but I got to get into this one. I love this one. How doable is it for me to replace a 6-figure income with FDN? How long should I expect for it to replace my income once graduated? So, hopefully, this person was on Leah's keynote today. If you didn't get to see that, go watch it. So, one, and this is not just a cute disclaimer. You do have to say this. No one can guarantee any certain amount of income. There are a million circumstances, some of which we're very conscious of, some of which we're not, that go into earning income. So let me talk about it practically. The stuff that Reed teaches, and when we're making jokes and having fun with the pager and the fax machine thing, the reason that worked the way that it did is because you do not need all this fancy stuff to make good money as an FDN, right? You need some clients and you need to facilitate a useful service to those clients and you charge accordingly. That's the foundational stuff we got to do. So one, you'll have to go through the FDN course, right? So however long I'm answering this in the sense of however long it takes you to do that, that's going to matter. I have no idea how long exactly it's going to take you to make a 6-figure income. Here is what I do know and feel very confident saying and share it frequently on our events. I can't speak from sharing about making 6 figures just on social media. I have done things with paid advertising. I have never made personally 6 figures in a year directly from social media with organic traffic only. So organic means I just post something, I don't have to pay for anything, and I get that in. Paid is a different story, but you're not going to do paid from day one. Here's how I can tell you to do it, though, which doesn't involve you paying for anything other than FDN. I'm a broken record. If you go out and we'll do the talks that we have lecture packages for. So I don't know if this person, if you want to answer, let me know. I don't know if you are signed up for the FDN course yet or you haven't signed up for it. If you are going to sign up, or if you have, and you pay or paid in full, you get a credit for one of our lecture packages anyway, which you can use the second that you graduate. You get one for free. If you don't know which one to get Stress and Hormones. That's a good one that you can use as a base. I really like that one. So Stress and Hormones lecture package, in addition to the other lecture packages, mind you, have the slides. They can be used both in person on a webinar, but Leah talked about this. You'll convert way higher and way faster in person. It's not even a comparison, to be honest. Reed is on recording, giving the presentation, so you can hear the exact words that he would use or how he would say it. It doesn't mean that you're supposed to copy him. In fact, I think it's inauthentic not to put your own flair on it, right? I put my own flair on it when I give them, but you get the framework of what you're supposed to do and what you're supposed to say. It teaches you how to do the basic marketing that's necessary to get people there, make some deals with a library or whatever. If you will just go do that, if you'll do it even every other week, and I'm telling you, you can give the same lecture just every other week. So I'm going to say 26 times a year, which sounds like a lot, but like imagine that's your only marketing effort is that you go out and give a dang hour and a half talk, maybe 2 hours, gosh forbid, with Q&A. If you will just do that for every other week and you'll do that for a year, I would be shocked to find that not only did you hit 6 figures, but that you are at notably more than that $100,000 a year mark. That's my opinion. Reed's got something. What do we got?
No, I like your answer, Evan. You're very astute and you've helped a lot of people go from making very little. Maybe they're only making 40,000 a year to 100,000 a year. That's work. But I would contend this. It would be easier to replace a different $100,000 a year with FDN because you're already organized. You already know how to talk to people. You're already working. It's easier to replace $100,000 if you're making that from. We've had engineers and real estate agents, and you just name it, and they've switched to FDN because it's what their heart and passion was about. They find it easier to do 100,000 than someone who now isn't working or is only making 20 grand as a personal trainer or something like that. It's easier to do what this question, replace a 6-figure income. If you're making 6 figures now, easy peasy, because you already know how to make money. Mm-hmm. It would be a little harder to go from making 20,000 to 100 than from making 100 to replacing it with FDN income.
That's a good point. So that's it, guys. And listen, maybe it's just because not enough people have done it. So we'll finish on this question, but I'll be transparent that maybe just not enough people have done it. I cannot even come close to finding the person that goes and does what I just recommended. Even just do a damn talk a month. Start with that. Just once a month. Yeah. I cannot find the person that doesn't work for. And a lot of them are low key. I think you remember, Elizabeth, you'd remember her, Reed, maybe Kimberly Boehm. So Brandy remembers her. I see her nodding. Kimberly Boehm, 60-year-old nurse. No business background before this. And actually, again, very low key. She's not in our graduate groups and talking all the time there. And I was at a conference with her and we got to chat and whatever. She made, now, again, not an income claim. Your results may vary. First month, she makes $10K after graduating. First month. And you know what I asked her? I said, what did you do? Of course, right? A logical question. And she's like, oh, well, I just go out and give those talks that Reed has. She said it so matter of fact and as if it was so obvious. I'm like, how do I take your brain and implant it into every single graduate that goes through this? So her and her husband live both in Virginia and in Florida. And even better, they drive back and forth sometimes. So she's like, oh, yeah, I was just setting up at little libraries in Georgia. I do my talks on the way down. We do it as a break. And she just kept getting clients after clients after clients. I don't know if she still does that to this day. This was several years ago now, but it was just so funny where she didn't allow herself to get what do you call that? Paralysis by analysis, where we overthink the talks or whatever. She just thought everyone goes and gives the talks like Reed recommends. And look, it's working. So just something to keep in mind. All right, we had
Good
another.
point, Evan. I see that Alicia wrote she's got a good place to do talks, but needs to get resources together to sign up for the FDN course. So I think we should talk to how many clients would it take to get your money back if you charged what we would guarantee. We would just say you're going to up level your ability to make money on the scale. And so I don't think it should take more than 3 to 5 or 6 clients to get your money back.
I
And
would
so if
say
you,
if you're being conservative, 4 clients at max, and that's like you're not charging enough and you've made your money back to invest in FDN.
yeah. And so if Alicia, if you have a place to give the talks, we have the talks to give. They're already prepared. You pretty much just could set up the workshop and make sure people show up. There's got to be people in the chairs. And then you just read the slides basically, and they're going to look at you as an expert in a topic that they are concerned about, whether it's hormones or insomnia or fibromyalgia, whatever their pain is. And they're going to sign up with you. You know why? Because they're not getting answers anywhere else. And you're going to present them with a new way of looking at disease. And that's going to be a great way for you to introduce yourself and to get them to like you and to sign up with you. Evan, I know I shouldn't do this, but when I think of this, I keep thinking about dealing test kits out of the back of my trunk of my car in the parking lot of a library, like some drug dealer. I literally remember moving the car to where there was a light, like a parking lot light over the trunk of my car, so I could. And I had these ladies just waiting in line to buy kits. It was just easy when you get up there and talk about the right thing in the right way. So anyway, what I did is package those talks so that my graduates could use them to go build their businesses.
You scared me for a second because I think that was in good taste. I had no idea what was about to come out of your mouth, so that was a good one. Yeah,
Okay.
you had Elizabeth, Brandy, and I sweating. All right, so that was good. But and guys, I shared this on Leah's thing, but just for those of you that weren't on, all jokes aside, this would not work in every industry. If you were in a super niche thing where I think I used some weird example on the live. Like if I was selling some type of certain technology to car sales managers that help them optimize their dealership, no, you don't just get to go give a local talk at a library and all of a sudden those guys and gals show up and you can sell them the software. That's ridiculous. But unfortunately, because we live in a world, especially America, where 50% of people are literally 50% are dealing with chronic symptoms or a chronic disease, when you go out and speak in person or when you even share this on your social that might only have 100 friends, and it's all friends and family, statistically, half of those people in that room in the talk or on your social are going to be dealing with these things. And I pray for the day that that's no longer true. I pray for the day that it's no longer, and I don't mean this insultingly to any FDNs if they are on, easy to get clients. I hope that it's not this easy in the future because that means we're making progress. We're really making a dent in all this stuff. Folks, right now, it's pretty darn easy. Because so many people need our services. So you got to get out there, get bold, and you can do this. Jessica, we got a last name this time. Awesome. Jessica Maza just signed up. Congratulations, Jessica. Welcome. I'm not sure if she's on. Well, okay, cool. She's not on, but welcome. Glad to have you.
I would
Looking
also
forward
like
to
to
seeing
get
who
to,
gives the talks. Chris. Yeah.
sorry, I would also like to get to Pam's question about if you don't want to run your own business, are there job opportunities out there for FDNs? Because I think that's a really important question.
I can take that one. So
Great.
we did a course tour last week, and then we also did the comparison. I shared my screen. So currently on the job board, I believe there's 10 jobs on there, and we have jobs coming in every single week. So Evan and I always like to put the caveat, don't come in just expecting if I get my certificate, I'm going to be able to just get a job. But we can tell you that there's a lot of doctors and FDN practitioners who are always hiring. They're always looking to add people to their team. And this credential is becoming very well recognized in the space. We have some kind of big names that only want to hire FDN practitioners. So that is a possibility. And, you know, even if you don't want to run a business, you don't have to be, you know, a business on a big entrepreneur. Again, go back and listen to Leah's talk. I encourage you to go to our YouTube and listen to that talk. She said straight out, she was not a business person, but she wanted to help people. Like, she just wanted to help people, and it turned into a business. So don't count yourself short on that. So remember that. But yes, there are job opportunities, and they are coming in all the time.
Yep, I think we nailed that down pretty well the other day. And Elizabeth, sorry, I missed that one. So thanks for pointing that out. I'll always shout this out every time we say it. This is a true story, guys. So my wife actually, she's a sales manager now at Dr. Josh Axe's place, the Health Institute. And she got the job originally by being a sales rep. But here's what I really want you to know, because this is kind of cool. Because the average person's not going to know anything. They don't know an IIN from an FDN, from an NTA. They have no idea. But the industry does know. And so the way that Dr. Josh Axe hires is insane because he has so much influence in the space. So they run ads just to get people hired. So there was 500 people on this Zoom webinar that Dr. Josh Axe was hosting with his hiring managers and stuff to try to find the salespeople. Now, it's not that they hired you live on the Zoom. The Zoom's like the first test. So they get you to show up there. Can you show up for something? Great. And then they advertise the next part, which is you have to send them in a video of you going over their script, whatever. So Maddie is listening to all of this, and we're messaging privately back and forth, right? She's like trying to stare straight at the camera. I'm messaging from the other room. And then they have a Q&A, so you can go and ask them questions. And I'm like, Maddie, ask him a question. And she's like, I don't have any questions. And I'm like, make one up, right? Because like then you get your face out there and you get some attention. I could be wrong. I thought it was a strategy. I thought they were purposely setting up the Q&A to see who would fight to get a spot. So I don't know. I could be wrong, but it worked. So Maddie asks the question. I forget what it was. That's not important. Here's what is. In front of Dr. Josh Axe's team. She mentions, hi, I'm Maddie. You know, I was in the Army National Guard. My husband, Evan's in FDN. I became a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner. They stop her and quote say, oh, you're in FDN. That's awesome. You don't hear about that very often. Like they knew exactly what we were talking about and the rigor of the curriculum to get to that thing. Now, whether or not that was the reason that they hired her and she's been there for all the time she has been now, I can't tell you that. I don't know. But I do know that it stopped even those folks in their tracks because they realized it. So my point is there are these different job opportunities. Maddie's not working with clients directly at this time. You know, she's running a functional health sales team, but she's able to do that and be effective because she can talk FDN on these calls with these clients. So really cool. A lot of opportunities out there for folks. And thank you for FDN team. I believe that's Nitty for getting Leah's keynote. So you guys can watch that. We got, what is it now? Just about, I think, 12 hours, 59 minutes for the end of our Black Friday sale. It will end at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time. If you hate time zones, that's California time. So 11:59 at night, California time. Largest sale in FDN history will go away. Let me go to my other stream here. I don't know if we had some other questions there. Anything that I missed, Brandy? I feel like you're always so great at paying attention to that. So,
no, I mean, I've posted it a few times in the chat, but for those of you who are here and have not signed up for the FDN course, let us know in the chat what's stopping you. What question can we answer to help you decide if this is the right fit for you? I mean, obviously, we're very transparent. We don't want you to pick something that's not right for you, but what question do you have that we have not answered to decide if this is the right fit? We'd love to know so that we can address it for you here. You've got, you know, Reed Davis, the founder. He can answer any of those questions. We've got Elizabeth Gaines. Like, this is a really good opportunity for you guys to post those questions in here. We want to know what's stopping you from jumping in.
Yeah, I haven't heard a tough question yet. I haven't heard a question that even would be the thing holding me back. Like someone I noticed just asked, can you talk about anything you want in the Facebook groups? Yes, you can. But if there were restrictions, would that stop you from signing up for a life-changing career? Probably not. You'd probably roll with the punches on that. So I'd like to know if other than money, because I can't really help you with that, other than that, as Ev keeps telling you, it's the best deal that you're ever going to see right now, this Black Friday sale. But other than that, what would hold you back? What would keep you from signing up today that's not related to the finances? Because everyone today is, concerned with finances, as I am, and everyone on this call is. Of course we are. And so, what I found over my life is investing in the future and in myself has never once failed. It's never hurt me. And it's only accelerated my ability to help other people and make money doing it, investing in myself. I still sign up for courses. And this is a life-changing course. This is one that can change the trajectory of your career for sure. Whether you want to build your own business or you just want to work for someone else and let them do all the promotions, that's okay. We'll teach you both sides, how to be a great producer. In other words, how to really help people get healthy. And we'll teach you how a number of ways you could be in business for yourself. The solo entrepreneur, cooperating with other practitioners, or as the other ball game is you just work for someone else. And the pay is really good. It's as good as you're going to find out there. It's higher than nurses right now. Nurses are pretty well paid. FDNs make even more as employees or as independent contractors, whatever it might be. So what's the question?
I have one for you, Reed. And this
Okay.
is one I have answered, but they want to hear it straight from you. So this will be the one that everybody wants. What happens to FDN when Reed retires? Can I still do the course? Will I still be able to be an FDN practitioner if something happens to Reed or Reed retires?
Well, what's going to happen to me? I'm going to live to be 110. No, here's the thing. That's a great question. And I will say that it'll probably get better. I could even be the reason that it isn't growing faster than it is, because I'm a really great FDN practitioner. I'm a great teacher, and but in terms of building a business, I'm sure there's someone that could take it to another extreme. My training's not going away. Matter of fact, earlier when you said, Evan, you asked me what's your day filled with. I forgot to mention that Elizabeth and I and Dawn spend a lot of time revising the courses. So they're the latest, up to datest, best there is. And I don't think I'll ever quit doing that. If I step away, or let me put it this way, I'm 73 years old next birthday. When I step away a little bit, it's going to just be from the day-to-day stuff. I'll still be there for the visionary, the core concepts, doing research to prove. I'm actually planning on working with the National Health Federation a lot coming up next year to promote alternative health versus, standard medicine, drugs, and surgery. And guess what? That's in tune with everything I've always done my whole life, and will continue to do. So I hope I answered it good. And if I didn't,
I think that's good. And I will add, just because I see behind the scenes, Reed has built a team that can carry his mission forward with or without him. Of course, Reed is the lifeblood of FDN. He's the visionary behind it, and he's always going to be part of that. But the team that you see here is, we get the mission, and he's built the team to carry that mission forward. So that's why we are all here. We love what we do. Every single person, there's like 2 or 3 people on our team that are not FDN practitioners. Everybody else is an FDN practitioner because we just know how life-changing this is. And so we are all a team that is very dedicated to moving this mission forward. If Reed is semi-retired or fully retired, we will continue moving that mission forward. I just want to add that.
it's a fair question. And even today, this morning, I am very sorry to see one lady who has a couple courses, and I don't want to give away too much, but she's closing them down. And I think, well, why don't you, like, I'll take them. like they're great courses. I'll take them, like I'll buy them from you, whatever. You should not close those courses down. And so as an example, I'll refer you to that. The FDN course will not shut down if something happens to me. And I made sure that I have, as Brandy said, created a legacy, and it's because it's important work. Should carry on.
Oh, Peggy just enrolled. Let's go, baby. Nice. Welcome, Peggy. Thanks for doing that live. It's way more exciting for us, honestly, selfishly.
So Peggy,
Peggy,
let me ask Peggy. Ask Peggy what got her over the line.
Yeah, okay, Peggy. Yeah, not to put you on the spot here, but if you don't mind, that is actually helpful for us. So yeah, what was, I know that you've been on a lot this month, so there are probably a lot of things that came in the decision. So that'd be very helpful for Reed to know, and us. Yeah, what was the thing that made you want to pull the trigger with FDN here? That'll be cool. And I'll give you a second, Peggy. I know you have to type out the answer. I know that you said other than finances, Reed, but I would like to address this if I can. Maureen had said the only thing holding me back is the cost. I think that's fair. Let me just divide this into two things, Maureen, and I can back this up without just sounding like a cheesy sales or marketing person. So let me explain. Two things. If the FDN course, whether it's via the payment or paying in full, whatever works for you, works best, if that is literally the difference between, oh, I don't have food and electricity this month, or FDN, you are absolutely correct. Get the food and electricity. That's insane, right? Don't do FDN right now. That's nuts. We would never want that. That's going to increase your stress too. So that's not great for your health. That's the antithesis of what we believe in. Now, let's say you can do FDN. It's just, hey, I might have to, not go to the gym that has the steam room with eucalyptus spray in it. That's, perfect and super nice. That's what I like to do, right? So I'm speaking for myself here. Maybe I have to cut that for a few months. In that case, I would say in the least cheesy way possible, just figure it out. And here's why. Because Maureen, I haven't seen your name, I don't think. So apologies if I'm just not remembering. If you go back to our Discovery series this month, we do something that I do not know that any other course does this. We do trainee and graduate roundtables. Now, unfortunately, I've asked it so many times that I hope that they're not getting used to it because I've always wanted this to be authentic. I never once in all these years of doing it have ever prepped them or coached them on this. And I ask them this question live so that you can see their facial reactions and you can make a decision as to whether or not they're being genuine. So these are not six-figure FDNs that we bring on for those special sessions and they're killing it. And of course, FDN was worth it for them. Some of these people haven't made a dime in their business yet because they haven't even graduated. And Maureen, I ask every single one of them on the spot, do you believe FDN was worth your investment and significantly more? So it's not just that, oh, you spend the 10 grand and it's worth 10 grand. That's not good enough for us. You spent it and you believe it's worth significantly more. That is the exact question that I asked them. And you can go back this month and to other times that we've done that throughout the years. In all of our time of doing this, at least as of 12/1/2025, not one person, whether they are a month into training or 3 months after graduating, has ever said to me that this was not worth significantly more than what they paid for it. So why do I put those two categories for you? Because again, if you can't pay the electric or food or buy the food when you're doing FDN, that's crazy. We don't want you doing that. That's not cool. Join our YouTube channel, watch our podcast, get things situated, then join us when you're ready. But if it's like, hey, it's just going to be a little bit tighter, but everything's going to be fine, then do it, because 100% of people that I've asked think it's worth significantly more than their investment. So that's the only thing I'll say about the finances side. Peggy, you let me know where you live because you're about to get a check. Because Peggy said probably Ev's compassion, thanks to Reed's honesty and integrity. That is the right answer. There's not any wrong answers, but that is a right answer, Peggy. Thank you so much.
And Holly
All right.
messaged on YouTube because Holly signed up this month, but she said the case studies is what did it for her. She was able to actually see us live as FDN practitioners and how we can help people.
Good. Wow, man, we're going to have more of those. I think the case studies are something that trainees and graduates get something from them too. It's cool to see experienced FDNs do their thing. So, all right, Pamela, And this is in host and panelists, so I'm just putting this in the chat for you guys, just so everyone can read this and follow along. They said this is 100% the path that I'm supposed to be on. Well, that's great. As a single mom of a daughter with health problems, and my father recently fell out of a truck and broke it. Oh my gosh, and broke his neck. I am not in a position financially to sign up right now. I hope to be joining you guys soon. I feel at the core. I feel at the core of me, this is what I'm supposed to do. Thank you guys for doing this over the last. Okay, so it's just a beautiful comment. Well, one, I'm sorry that all that's happening, and guess what? In that category, you would fall into that first one that I talked about with Maureen, right? That we don't want to add more stress, but stick around with us. Hop on our YouTube. We do so much stuff for free. We're on other social media platforms as well, and you can still learn a lot from us, even while life's getting back on track there, if you will.
Hey, one thing I'll say is, I feel bad for people and with situations. I've certainly been in a situation where I've actually been hungry in my life, and so I feel very empathetic. I can't change the price of the course because I know what it cost me to deliver it. And we have 50 people work for us, including all the mentors and clinical advisors and everybody. And so I know what it cost me to deliver it, and we have to charge what we charge. But we do have some payment options. We've broken it down to where you can spread the payments out. And you don't have to go get a credit check or affect your credit or something like that. So we're kind of easy to do business with. The other thing I noticed here, Evan, is Angelique wanted to know about studies, research, supporting information. Absolutely. Matter of fact, the first thing I want you to do is go to like perplexity.ai and ask about FDN. Just say, what is FDN? And is there, you ask it any question you want with that regard. But yes, not every slide, but many slides have the original research that backs up what's on the slide. So that's a good question. Again, some of this is, it's kind of a blend of ancient wisdom with modern research and evidence-based. So it's very evidence-based. Early on, when I was developing FDN, I read everything there was to read and researched and stayed up to date, and I've done it ever since. So we don't think you'll find any.
May I also add, Reed, that yes, it is evidence based, and there is science and there are studies that back it up, and it is also based on your years of clinical observation, what you saw, what you experienced, which is another kind of validation that doesn't always come from a study or a textbook.
Good point. So, folks, I'm going to have to leave, and that means you got like just a few minutes if you have one last question, because I got to get to a car dealer and pick up my car.
I didn't want to ask. I was wondering why you were taking the Uber. This makes a lot more sense now. Is the Uber to church when you said earlier?
I had to take my car in to be repaired. I have a 4-year-old car with a lot of miles on it.
So our last one here real quick, and I'm sorry, Maureen, because, I got passionate about the finance one. So Maureen had asked, can this be applied to pediatrics and talk about clinical experience? I mean, you worked with kids all the time in the office, right? Reed.
Oh, me? Yeah. Oh, I love kids. Kids are easy. Kids get better sooner. They're very anabolic, so they're still growing. So they got this anabolic dominance that's very, very helpful when you're trying to heal. And so, yeah, we love working with kids. We get great results with kids. They're pretty easy to turn around. And, I won't go through it, Ev, but, I got some miracle stories of working with children who had asthma or bad skin or ADD. So there's no one too young to do FDN. There's certain tests you wouldn't do. They're just not going to be very revealing. But the protocol for sure. Every kid needs to eat right, go to bed on time, exercise robustly and appropriately, and reduce stress. And supplements can be very helpful because they're not getting enough nutrition out of their food. And, food kind of sucks. So the protocols are perfect for children of every age, but some of the testing you wouldn't have to do.
Yep. Thank you, Reed. And obviously, guys, just drop a thank you for Reed. Reed, if you have to hop, feel free at any time. Here,
I'm really
gonna
sorry, but I got to go.
No, you're okay.
So
And
thank
guys,
you.
we're gonna probably hop.
I was waiting to see if there was one more question that popped up. Like, wait, Reed, I have to ask you this. But just sign up, have faith. You'll be fine. And thank you, guys. I love you all.
All right. And before we hop off, guys, I'm going to do something slightly differently. Some of you were on yesterday, so you know that I did this then. This is important to me, though. So if we were annoying hard sellers, which we're not, we don't do that here at FDN, then we start, going after people in the chat and forcing them into something. We think that is so stupid. Again, Brandy and Elizabeth and I were trainees before we became staff members, right? So we've been in your exact shoes, just in a different version of the course at the time. Here's what's very important to me. I'm not trying to be obnoxious, but I'm literally almost going to go name by name. You guys are here for a Q&A today. I don't care what decision that you make, but since this is our last one out of 20-something sessions this month, or I guess if you count November as well, you know what I mean. What is important to me is that you at least know which direction that you're going. So this is not a question of, oh, who's signing up tonight and you have to say yes. We don't do stuff like that. What I am going to ask, though, please, is if you do not have any other questions, please put a yes in the chat. If this live, if you are now good, you know one way or the other. You don't have to tell us what that way is, but please just drop a yes. Well, Peggy, yes, I know you know. You're signed up for the course. Thank you, Peggy. You're great. All right, Mayor knows. Awesome. I swear I'm like the annoying teacher. We'll go through every single person. And if there's a no, that's okay too. But then we need to know why so we can answer those questions for you. I think that's what Reed was trying to get to when he said, hey, if he's on, ask him a tough question. So let us know that, and then we can go do something else. Let's see any other questions that we missed while those are coming through. You guys are great. Thank you for helping us out. Oh, Stephanie, I wanted to shout you out from what you had said before. Stephanie had said, I was sitting on the fence last year at this time and didn't sign up. I could have kicked myself. I did finally sign up in March and haven't regretted it once. Take advantage of the sale because it's just going to cost more later. That's true. That is true. All right, got a bunch of yeses. You guys are great. Thank you. And I'm not trying to be annoying, but you understand from our perspective too. We don't want to just come on here and hear ourselves talk. We're trying to provide you guys a service, and the reason that we get the founder and education director and COO on to do this is so that at least you can decide what the next step's going to be for you. Brandy, anything final before we hop off?
No, I don't think so. We've done a lot of these this month, and I think we've given all the information. So if you guys need to talk to somebody about the financing, drop a 1 in the chat. If you need to talk to somebody about the financing, I'll grab your name. And if you want to talk to our team, drop the 1 and they can reach out and just let you know what the financing is. And we want to help you. So definitely reach out if you need help. Now's the time to do it.
We do have a 1, so we'll get that to you. And then someone had asked, can you actually share what time the finance department is open till today?
We have people available most of the day. Angelique, you're already in contact with me, so you don't need to worry too much. That's fine. Guys, I'd really ask you not to try to book a call with our team at like 9 o'clock tonight. I don't want my course enrollment team working till midnight. Like, it'd be great if we could get these questions answered and get you taken care of, by a reasonable time. 6 o'clock-ish would be nice. We do have people available a little bit later, but if you could make a decision sooner, that would be helpful, just so my team can give you all the attention they can. They've been working a lot today, so I want to make sure they're fresh for you.
Awesome. And Elizabeth, we'll always close out with you. So before we do that, and again, drop that 1 if you guys need help. Like Brandy had just said, with the finance side, we can get you talking to someone. I just wanted to say thanks so much for an awesome last few weeks of events. Like, we do get to do events to some degree, frequently, and I'm very lucky for that. But each time there's kind of a separate audience. Like, there's some names that I've known forever, but there's always new people, right? You got Holly, Angelique, Dana, Peggy, like there's all these new people that come in each time, and I feel like I get to like travel with you for a couple of weeks, and then I got to toss you off to the trainee group, and then you guys are there for several months. You know what I mean? And I don't get to really see you guys again fully until the other side. So I just wanted to welcome you to FDN. Congrats! Thanks for being an awesome audience. It does. I know it seems like I have a ton of energy naturally. My staff knows that's 100% true, that Ev does have too much energy, but it is you guys that keep me going. It's very fun and such a privilege to be able to show up every day and have people that are just being kind and saying hello. So thank you so much for an amazing event. And I'm looking forward to seeing you on the other side once Elizabeth gets you trained up and good to go. I'm very active in the graduate group. Brandy's active in the graduate group. I can host you guys on the podcast. So many things that we can do together. And Elizabeth always has something cool to share at the end. So I would be mad at myself for not letting you close this out. Elizabeth, please, what do you got for us?
Well, thanks, Ev. What I want to say is that I'm inspired by all of you who have been FDN curious and have hung in here with us all month and have, really dug in and done your research and really seriously inquired, is this where I want to go? Is this not where I want to go? And I also want to acknowledge that to take on something like FDN, it's the broad unknown. Like to Pam's question, am I going to be able to handle this? To other people's questions, do I have the time? To other people's questions, is it worth the money? This is a leap of faith. And a lot of it is, do I have faith in myself? And sometimes faith in yourself is a difficult commodity to come by. And so at FDN, one of the things we pride ourselves in the course side and in the graduate side as well is that we can hold the vision for you while you are finding it for yourself. We believe in every single one of you. We believe that you have the ability to become the practitioner that you want to be, to have the practice that you want to have, to find the job that you want to find, to have the life that you envision for yourself. And as I believe that all good coaches and practitioners are those who can step into that void and hold the vision while the client, while the student is working on building it for themselves. So like when I have a client come in for an onboarding call and I can't see the vision for them, I know they're not my client. I can't take them. One of the reasons I love working with the trainees is that I see the vision for all of you. It's not hard. And we pride ourselves on being here to hold that vision for you until you can hold it for yourself, until you have the confidence and the faith and the abilities and the skills, and it's been tested over and over again. And you put yourself up against a one-on-one exam 7 times, to get this answer of, oh yeah, I can do this. We're here to hold the vision until you get to that point, and that is our honor and our pleasure. So if what is holding you back is one of these nagging questions that comes down to, can I do it? Can I do it? Let us hold the faith. Let us hold the vision. We're here for that. And that is a lot of what our live support is about. That's a lot of what we do on Hot Topics. That's a lot of what we do in Trainee Study Hour is we hold the vision for you because we see it and we want it for you. We want it for you as much as you want it for yourself. So come join us if it feels right.
I mean, dang, between Leah and Elizabeth, I'm ready to go give a talk myself. It sucks that it's 5 p.m. almost here because I'm fired up, baby. Let's go. All right. Angelique, I saw that. Thank you so much. You're awesome. You are another awesome person in the chat. And Andorini, I saw you on YouTube as well, said awesome and entertaining. I try to tell my wife the same thing. She just says I'm overstimulating. I'm like, I think, some people pay for this. This is awesome and entertaining to some. So I will share that message with her. All right, guys, we'll see you. I hope that you guys have a great rest of your night. Remember, Black Friday sale ends tonight. We're not trying to play hardball with you. We've told you, though, for 3 weeks. It's 11:59 p.m. Pacific, all over the website. You can choose the payment plans right there.